Rose Norton, and this is my final video for indie game development with Falmouth University. The assignments consist of working on a proposal for a research project of my choice and to finish the masters with a polished artefact of publishable quality. The research area I was keen to look further into was how a lot of people suffer with stress, and after many iterations the final question developed to exploring the potential of Zen environments in games to relieve everyday working stress. I wanted my project to serve two purposes, not only to demonstrate how my skills have developed with indie game development as an aspiring 3D environment artist, but more importantly to learn how we can relax through immersive gaming, especially when playing or interacting in a Zen mode or exploring through virtual restorative environments. In order to help me develop my concept design, I have looked into the other areas of research such as understanding the meaning of Zen, learning about Zen garden design, how it can be incorporated into a gaming environment, mindfulness, Zen modes in games, different ways of immersing the user into the environment whilst helping them to become relaxed, immersion through virtual restorative environments, VRE, another way of immersing the user to that environment, and exploring natural bird sounds and their effects. My initial idea was to simply create a natural environment to help the user relax, and by doing so allow them to become immersed in their surroundings. However, on further research I found the University of Silicon Valley stated there are 4 areas of immersion to a video game: audio immersion, graphic immersion, storytelling and immersive acting. They explain, to fully immerse the player, you must make sure the digital world is perfect and take extra time polishing, because if there is a slight glitch in the image, the immersion can be broken instantly. I did have a few problems along the way, mainly with UV unwrapping and UV maps. Some textures were slightly stretching in the corners of the models. The other problem I had was with my 3D model I'd made of bamboo in 3ds Max. However, when I added animation to it and added modifiers, when importing this into UE5, it wouldn't play. The solution to the bamboo ideally was simple. I just needed to go back into the 3D modelling application and disseminate the faces down to 80%, which then increased the speed of frames per second in the editor in UE5. The environment was working properly again and you was able to walk rather than skim along the path. And I was worried that this would ruin the immersion. However, so far the research and feedback I have, people have still been able to be immersed in the environment. From the evidence so far, my first hypothesis is the longer you spend in a Zen environment, the more relaxed you become. The data was analysed using a Likert scale. This method was chosen in order to fit my project's data gathering requirements. I would be collecting qualitative data, which is a mix of questionnaires, interviews and observation. The Likert method measures how much a person agrees with a statement. Here are the results from the first Likert scale that I created in FigJam. The findings show from just this small amount of data that most people of any gender, age or ability play digital games to release stress. I found when I asked the statement, Zen modes help relieve stress, that I lost some responses. I am unsure if this is because they were unaware of what a Zen mode is. When the word relaxed was used, the response was answered every time. However, the statement, amount of time users like to play a relaxing game, I've interpreted the outcome to when they can, and if they could, it would be often. I have looked at so many academic papers, and having a natural environment was key to help the user relax. But when I asked the question, how important is a natural environment in digital games, the response was in the middle. At this point, I asked myself, is the natural environment the right way to go? As for natural sound, this was extremely important. From all the academic literature I have read, natural environments and sound was absolutely vital for the relaxation of the users. After analysing the Likert scale, I started posting updates of my environment in the very first stages of my development on Twitter. I shared mini videos of my environment first coming to life. The feedback I got was positive, and the game developers was interested to see me develop the environment further. When setting up the next questionnaire, I wanted to keep it really simple to keep people's stress levels down. I used Google Forms and set up 3 questions ready for them to answer before they downloaded the final environment, and then 4 questions for after they had explored the environment to give their overall say, and if there was any extra comments they wanted to put or feedback that they thought needed to be changed, I left them space to do so. The environment was posted a little later than expected, which did mean that only a small amount of data could be gathered. For both questionnaires, I did get some really good feedback, and each time I gained another response, I noticed a pattern was happening. After they had been in the environment, they were becoming less stressed. The majority of people were slightly stressed at the beginning. The water sound was what they most liked to listen to in the environment, and the top environment that most people likes to relax in is the great outdoors. The questionnaire for after being in the environment had a clear 70% of users not feeling stressed anymore, with a mixed response to the sounds that helped them feel this way. However, slightly in front is birdsong. Many users wanted to explore further and also wanted to find out if there was any secrets lying in the environment and beyond the dojo. For many, immersion did take place. However, some users suffered due to their graphics cards not being fast enough, but they still managed to give feedback on the environment, which was greatly appreciated. Reflecting back on this final assignment, I asked myself, have I been able to create an artefact in line with my concept I first proposed? I think I have to a certain level in regards to creating an environment for users to simply explore and immerse themselves in, using natural sounds of birdsong, water and footsteps, and focusing on the Zen elements that was important for these surroundings. The elements being bridges, water flowing, rock gardens, dry landscaping, Japanese maple trees, Turo lanterns, the blue-green bamboo forest with the natural sound of bamboo creaking, the dojo for the place of ultimate relaxation. However, it would be more professional ideally to go back into the 3D model of the bridge and correct the UV map and the Turo lantern and correct the seams, as this does look like a glitch, and for me personally just takes you away from being immersed if you was to look at these materials or textures a little closer. The results though, from the little data gathered, was more detailed than expected in the comments section that I had set up, and this has helped a great deal knowing that the users of all ages with different abilities was paying close attention to what the environment had to offer them as an individual. Overall, I am very pleased with the outcome of the final artefact, but I do think from an aspiring 3D environment artist, I have learnt a lot throughout the journey by using 3ds Max, Maya, Blender, UE5, Photoshop, and I am now ready to apply for a job in the industry as I am more aware and I have a better understanding of what an environment artist's role is and what's expected of them from the very beginning of the concept design to fruition.